Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Franchise Interviews. For over 6 years, Franchise Interviews has been giving an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship. Listen to interviews with franchisers, franchisees, franchise authors, franchise experts, and attorneys. And now, welcome your host, Marty McDermott, and Franchise Interviews.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of Franchise Interviews, where for over 6 years now, we've been asking the entrepreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott. I'm the president of Franchise Interviews, and we have a great show today. We're meeting with Dr. Rebecca Cipriano and Dr. Joseph Cipriano, founders of the new Pop Weight Loss franchise. At Pop Weight Loss, a weight management and healthy lifestyle franchise, has experienced tremendous success creating a weight loss as lifestyle change program to help the rapidly escalating obesity epidemic plaguing American men, women, and children today. And that's coming right up on Franchise Interviews. So stick around because we got a great show.
Are you looking for a franchise that delivers? Businesses will always need shipping, and for more than 25 years, loyal customers have depended on Unishippers for reliable savings and exceptional customer service. Unishippers is focused on just one thing: helping small and medium-sized businesses save time and money on all their shipping needs. And as the largest reseller of complete shipping services in the country, we have the buying power to ensure that we succeed. The Unishippers franchise offers low startup costs, no equipment or real estate required because they're not retail, residual income, and a quality of life and work-life balance. For more information on becoming a Unishippers franchisee, go to www.unishippers.com and click Franchise Opportunities or call Franchise Development at 801-708-5822. That's 801-708-5822.
Are you one of those special people who are willing to go after your dreams and goals? Are you ready to fulfill that dream of owning your own business with the security of a proven brand? The opportunity to take control of your future and own a Rita's Italian Ice franchise is within your reach.
Rita's is seeking success-oriented individuals who are ready to make a change in their life, and Rita's offers unparalleled training and support to assure your success. And did you know the frozen treat industry is a recession-proof industry, and there are Rita's in 23 states currently with 540 stores open. Rita's Italian Ice has been around for 25 years and is listed as a top-performing franchise by the Wall Street Journal.
Now here's the really good part. Rita's Italian Ice is a unique and amazing taste treat. It's smoother than a snow cone, and it combines ice with real fresh fruit. The real fruit adds dramatically to the taste, and it comes in over 40 flavors. The ice and fruit are mixed on site and made fresh daily, and it is delicious.
You'll want to know more about this exciting and successful franchise opportunity. Go to www.ownaritas.com and get all your questions answered. That's www.ownaritas.com to take control of your dreams and future today. You don't want to wait any longer to be a part of this adventure. www.ownaritas.com.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to a very special edition of Franchise Interviews, where for over 6 years now, we've been asking the entrepreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott. I'm the president of Franchise Interviews, and as we were saying earlier, we have a great show today. We're meeting with Dr. Rebecca Cipriano and Dr. Joseph Cipriano, the founders of the new Pop Weight Loss franchise. Hi, Dr. Rebecca. Hi, Dr. Joe. How are you today?
We're great.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. We always like to ask our guests where you're calling from today.
We are in Freehold, New Jersey.
I thought I recognized that area code. My wife grew up in Aberdeen, Dr.
Oh,
Joe.
sure, right down the road.
Right down the road. So she was very excited for today's show. So that's fantastic. I know the area very well. I thought, maybe we could start off briefly, on the background of the company, maybe like what year you got started and who are the owners of Pop Weight Loss.
Sure. I'm Dr. Rebecca Cipriano, and my husband and I started Pop Weight Loss. We started it in 2008. It was previously called A Better You Weight Management, and it was this summer that it became Pop Weight Loss, and we made the decision to franchise.
That's fantastic. So you probably get the question all the time, what is Pop Weight Loss? And who gets credit for the name, Dr. Rebecca? Is that you or Dr. Joe?
Oh, it's all my wife. She's the brains, I'm the beauty.
Well, POP, we say, is a new modern approach to weight loss, and POP stands for personal, online, and professional, and each of those meanings are important to us. The personal part is we offer one-on-one support. We're not group-based. We are individualized. The online is we could do the visits online or in person, and we also have online tools. And the last part is professional, because our counselors are either physicians or nutritionists, and we are a professional company.
That's fantastic, Dr. Rebecca. I was it was Brian Williams the other night. They were talking about, this whole online thing is almost like the new house call. My dad used to always talk about when he was a kid and the doctor would come to your home, and now because of, technology today, you can really be in someone's home, can't you?
Yeah, you bring up a good point. The University of Florida just developed the first department of telemedicine. It was about a year ago, and I really think that's part of the future of medicine in the United States.
That's fantastic. So it really is an exciting time. I know some of our listeners are probably saying, how is Pop Weight Loss different from some other weight loss companies out there?
That's a great question, and I think I like to answer it that POP is grounded on teaching nutrition. We give a nutrition education, and we teach our clients to think about food for immunity for their bodies and not just for comfort. And we really don't weigh or measure anything. We don't count calories. We don't count points. But we teach you to find healthy choices, whether you're eating out at a restaurant or eating at home. And this is a huge, huge difference, I think, for us versus other companies.
Yeah, essentially what we're selling is we're selling education, and that's how we really differ from the rest of the sector. This is the real deal. This is a lifestyle change. This is educating yourself, taking responsibility for your body, and going forward with it. When you look at other weight loss industries, they're selling quick fixes. This is getting healthy, staying healthy, and being responsible.
And I think part of the modern approach is not only the nutrition education, but two other equally important parts are schedule and exercise. And in terms of schedule, we really, behind closed doors or on the computer screen, we figure out with you what is your day like? What is your day-to-day? What time do you get up? What time do you need to be at work? Because we make a schedule of eating for each person. And we also figure out if they're having emotional eating problems. And what I mean by that is so many people skip meals and end up making up later, or they are eating because they're tired or they're stressed or they're bored or they're mad at somebody, but they're not actually hungry.
And it's a vicious cycle, Marty. That was me in a nutshell right there. Maybe not so much the mad part, but I would start a diet every day of my life, and I would eat nothing the entire day. And at 10 o'clock, I would find the one Chinese restaurant that was open.
Which is the worst thing I guess you can do, right, Dr.
Absolutely.
Joe?
Absolutely.
And our last part is exercise, and I believe so strongly that exercise is the key to maintenance. So almost everyone loses in our program, but those that keep it off long term create a habit of exercise. And one of our goals is to take it in maybe short increments, and even a half-hour a day, 20 minutes a day, something that becomes part of your daily routine. And in our busy lives, as we all run around with work and kids and whatever we're doing, we're not scheduling in time for ourselves. So my big point with exercise is to try to make it a personal time, make it a meditation time, make it a me time, whatever you want to call it. And I'm proud to say, actually, my husband and I are healthier now than we were when we first got married, which was 16 years ago.
Wow, that's
and in our mid-40s, I run 6 miles every day. And there are no excuses. There are no excuses. I'm a very busy gynecologist. If I have a surgery in the operating room, starting at 7 or 7:30, I'll get up at 4:35 in the morning to exercise. But the real difference here is that I'll sleep the night before. And I'm sleeping better. I'm more awake during the day because I'm at a good BMI. And it's just, it's a vicious cycle when you get into that, the overweight or the obesity. You're tired all day, and you're sluggish. You don't sleep at night. It's a vicious cycle.
It sounds like you help your clients also, of course, change their habits, as well. I was watching this morning, Dr. Rebecca and Dr. Joe, the weight loss tips for the holidays. And I said we really got to incorporate that into the holidays because, like many people, you don't think of exercising on the holidays, do you?
No.
You're so busy.
Right, and that's part of the habit. And I always have, on a holiday, I almost think it's more important because you have stress with your family, you have more food than you normally eat, and it's something as easy as the half hour. I always think that is a magical number because it's not overwhelming. And if you think about doing an exercise routine, whether you're home or away or weekend or weekdays, but really put it into your schedule. Even if your schedule's already busy, if you put it in, it's going to happen. And then once you get the bug of having to do it and feeling really good, then you have to do it. I always say I have to do it no matter what because I have a better day. And it's easier to think about it that way than to think about if I don't exercise today, I'm going to have diabetes in 5 years. Because that's just too far away. It's too long to think about.
Yeah, and Marty, for me, what it was, I'm Italian and of Italian descent, and when we're happy we eat, when we're sad we eat, when we're frustrated we eat, when we're hungry we eat, when we're not hungry we eat, whatever. So I kind of grew up in this culture of, I just can't be denied food. So what I learned from the program, and even though I'm a medical doctor, I did the program myself after Rebecca created it, and I learned a lot. And I'm not so proud to say that I didn't know a lot about nutrition and proper weight management. But what I learned, a lot of different tips, but one of them around the holidays is portion control. I'll have a small appetizer. I'll have a small portion of the entree. I'll have a little piece of the pumpkin pie or whatever. Instead of really denying myself. And that just was. It sounds so simple, but it was never in my life before.
And I can identify with that too, Dr. Joe. Coming from my mom being Italian, I can certainly appreciate what you say. So I can identify with everything you're saying. And I guess also too. I think I recall on one of the videos, Dr. Rebecca was saying that it reduces stress too, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And all of us have stress, don't we?
We do, and we don't have a lot of built-in ways in our culture to decrease that stress. And I think that, when you can really learn how to get to a weight that you're happy with and then maintain it, to me that's what it's all about. It's not about denying yourself or never having things that you love. I love cheesecake, although I don't say it that often. But I can't have it every day and be where I want to be in terms of my health or my size, but I certainly can have it twice a month.
Absolutely.
So you know what I love? I love wearing Brioni suits. And they don't make Brioni suits for large people.
It's finding the motivation, right, Dr. Joe?
Exactly.
That's fantastic. How many locations are there currently then for Pop Weight Loss?
Currently, the corporate headquarters is in Freehold, New Jersey.
Okay, good.
Second location over in Colts Neck, New Jersey, and we have a franchise opening down in Brielle.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Which is Jersey Shore, and got a lot of the franchise disclosure document was just completed a couple of weeks ago, and we have a ton of interest. So really right now we're concentrating on the tri-state area, Northeast, and I think it's going to do great.
So do I. I think it's fantastic in studying the concept. But why did you decide to, use the franchise alternative, I guess? I guess there was a couple different ways to grow the business. Why did you decide on franchising?
To me, we were looking for a mode of distribution, and I think that franchising really worked nicely with our business model. 67% of the U.S. population is overweight or obese. And it's, getting clients is it's pretty easy to do.
Oh, absolutely. With a market of that size, Dr. Joe, absolutely. One of the things when I was talking to my wife about the concept this morning, getting back to the whole online aspect is, a lot of times any business, they deal with, their clients sometimes moving to another location. It sounds to me like you would be able to keep your clients if they move to another location through using the online technology. Is that true?
That's a good point. We can. And, we've really found that it's a reproducible concept, and, we have teachable methods.
Yeah, and some of my feelings are that we gave medicine and even nutrition professionals gave weight loss away to some of the sort of not so nutritional.
Not so healthy. She's not going to say that. I'll just say not so healthy ways of losing weight. And it's I think the last stat what I saw was it's a $60 billion a year business just in the United States.
Yeah, and what I love is when someone loses weight, and this happened with myself. I gained a lot of weight before around the time of the birth of my daughter, and had trouble taking it off, and I actually had high blood pressure and diabetes, and spent really some time struggling with it before I realized that I was trained differently than most physicians. And I think that if we can help people with existing populations, doctors and nutritionists, for example, and as a standalone concept, if we can help bring nutrition, real nutrition, to most Americans, we'd be making a dent in a big epidemic in this country, and also bringing back the concept that these things are reversible, and sometimes my patients don't even know that hypertension, diabetes, knee problems, back problems.
Marty, there are four chronic diseases in this country that account for 70% of the healthcare costs.
Wow!
And those four diseases are directly related to being overweight or being obese.
That's amazing, isn't it? It's just
it really is. It's staggering.
It's getting worse.
And it's getting worse, as you said. And even with children, it's a problem today, isn't it, Dr. Rebecca and Dr. Joe?
Yeah,
it seems like kids aren't exercising as much anymore. We also have a 5-year-old son, and my wife had a similar situation. She said it was okay to talk about it on the show, as you, Dr. Rebecca, is where she gained weight after having my son. It's just I guess it's a common, I would say, universal problem, but it probably doesn't have to be that way, does it?
I don't think so. And even at POP, we've had clients as young as 6 and as old as 86.
Wow, that's a
so
big
I really
market.
do think at any age it can work. And I think, I don't know if you even mentioned in the beginning that my husband and I in 2001 founded Healthy Women OBGYN, and we are one of the largest OBGYN offices in New Jersey. So that problem of gaining weight with pregnancy, gaining weight with menopause, emotional eating for women in general and men, there are simple, easy things that can be done, and we teach those to clients. We give them the tools, and a lot of times people come in and they feel that their problems are really unique to just them, and that weight loss works for other people, but it doesn't work for them. And
it works for everybody.
It's simply not true.
It works for everyone.
Testimonial
it does.
Of a 24-year-old woman named Alyssa, who is actually on our website. She's lost over 100 pounds already.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. Yeah, I think it was a strong testimonial. And
she said, I used to think that weight loss worked only for other people, but now it became easy for me. And she's still, at this late date, averaging about 5 pounds a week with us, which is amazing.
That is amazing. That's incredible. I love when I hear stories like that. Maybe we can talk a little bit about the investment for someone who's interested in getting into your franchise. What's the investment?
It's a good question. We actually have 2 models that we're offering, 2 franchise models. So the investment depends on which model, but it ranges from $55,000 to $95,000, and that includes the franchise fee. Okay. And that
pretty much includes everything. That includes the build out on a 800 to 1,000 square foot space. It includes the franchise fee. It includes some startup capital, working capital, I should say. It's pretty much a turnkey operation.
And the lower investment would be for someone with an existing office, with an existing practice, like a physician or a nutritionist or any practitioner really with an existing population. And that's something that can be done easily, probably within 1 to 2 months. And the latter, the little bit higher numbers are for a standalone without an existing population.
And the reason that is obviously we want our franchisees to be successful, and if the entrepreneur buys an independent site, they need to have adequate marketing and sales support, and all of that we really train them how to do that. Rebecca and I have been doing this for a number of years, and we've learned over the years, like everyone else, with a startup company, what works and what doesn't work.
Which is the benefit of franchising, of course, Dr. Joe, right?
Sure.
They don't have to make the same mistakes, that of course, you made over time, and also follow your best practices, which I think is great. What kind of, characteristics will you be looking for in your franchisees? Because it is a partnership, so I'm sure there's things that you're going to be looking for before you say yes to taking someone on as a franchisee.
Sure. My criteria are anyone that is passionate about health and wellness, because it is such a feel-good profession. Not only is it financially viable and sound, but it is when you really believe in what you're doing. I mean, I think there's no more noble thing to do than help somebody be healthier. And those are tools that we teach. And I do think this could be a practitioner, this could be an entrepreneur, this could be a salesperson. I mean, we will do the training for you. So having that passionate about health and wellness for me is number one, and then we teach you the rest.
Yeah, I'm sorry, if I could just interrupt you for a second back. Just getting back real quick to childhood obesity. I really think that we're on the precipice of a large paradigm shift in the culture. Michelle Obama now is really a strong advocate for the prevention of childhood obesity.
Yes.
I really think that we're just really on the verge of a real cultural shift in the United States, and people who want to really get in early with that. Those are the people we're looking for. People who want to work at this and do well from it.
It's true. I mean, the current situation we have with obesity and weight and chronic medical problems from obesity in this country.
It's unsustainable, Marty. It's just unsustainable. It's I certainly there's no. I don't want to be doom and gloom, but the U.S. healthcare system is not gonna. They're not equipped to deal with it, and they're not going to deal with it. They're not going to. It's unsustainable. So
Absolutely.
the only answer, and people a hell of a lot smarter than I am, say that it's prevention.
Absolutely. And one of the things I loved about this business, and I think it was you, Dr. Rebecca, who said this, is it is a feel-good business, isn't it? I mean, yes, the market is huge and there's a tremendous opportunity to make money, but I think even at the end of the day, even more so, is it must be nice to see the results on your clients. And I guess, of course, you would know better than I.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. We had a gentleman that lost about 80 pounds with us, and he went home to see his family in Mexico, and they said they did not recognize him. And we were crying in the office because that's how great it was.
Yeah. That's amazing. Like most franchises, where your headquarters are, it usually starts mushrooming in that area. So what geographical locations are you looking to reach?
I would say right now, I would like to keep things in the tri-state area just for now. Right. I wouldn't be opposed to, outside the tri-state area, but, Rebecca and I and our team here, we have a really good infrastructure that we put together over the past year or so. We're very committed to having our franchisees do well, and what that translates into for us is being involved with the franchisee, teaching them what's working, what's not working, and making them successful.
Yes, we're even willing to send some of our, and we envision this especially for our first 10 to 12 franchises, sending some of our current staff to the new locations to make sure that things are done correctly on an ongoing basis, not just on the initial training.
That's great.
Right now we have some pretty strong interest in northern New Jersey, Staten Island, Brooklyn, out in the Bronx, and Long Island.
That's fantastic. What will the training be like then, Dr. Joe? I mean, how do you envision it? I mean, once you take someone on, I mean, so you're saying will they come to your headquarters in Freehold?
Yeah, absolutely. They would come to our headquarters in Freehold, and it's somewhere between 24 and 50 hours, and it's going to depend more on if we feel that they're ready, and not really so much by the hour, because they're
and if they feel that they're ready.
Absolutely, and they're going to sit in with us as we see our patients and clients here, and with weekly follow-up, I feel that we're going to be fine with that, and also have sales training, nutrition training. There's a lot of different components that are going to go in there, and we also have our own line of supplements, which I don't think we mentioned so far.
Actually, before you get into that, I'm sorry, if I could just say, Marty, Rebecca's all about the medicine. I'm all about the business. We were very fortunate enough to hire a vice president of operations who is a franchise attorney who's been doing this for 5 or 6 years, and she is just fantastic. And she knows all the legal ins and outs. And so we put that in addition to a director of nutrition and a staff of nutritionists and support staff. I mean, we really have spent some time building the infrastructure around POP, or I should say within POP, to make people successful.
Yeah, and we have a POP certification that they'll get at the end of training, and that won't come until we're both parties are happy with, satisfied that they're ready to go.
I think that's clever. I've never heard that before. In the whole 6 years I've been doing the show, is that you are going to make sure that they're ready. A lot of times, the franchise training is they'll say, okay, 1 week or 2 weeks, and whether I'm saying whether you know it or not, but to make sure that they're ready and they're comfortable to go back to their territory and do their job. I think that's very clever. One of the things I like as well is that they get to deal with you personally, don't they, Dr. Rebecca and Dr. Joe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is fantastic. That doesn't happen a lot. There's great stories of when you become a franchisee to let's say a Subway, you become franchisee number 17298. There's so many of them. You can never get Fred DeLuca, the founder of Subway, on the phone. So I think there's a lot of advantages. To working with people like yourselves.
I really think that we have a protocol that works, and we also have very motivating techniques. If someone sits in front of us and they say they're going to try to exercise, we say, you're not going to try, you're going to do it. Because they're coming for that type of advice and motivation, and we know the times that work usually for people, and we've been through it, and we want to share those types of ideas, and we want to keep, have that certification be really meaningful.
And once again, Marty, Dr. Rebecca is all about the medicine. I'm all about the business. There are very specific, and although we do pretty well getting clients throughout the year, there are 4 or 5 or 6 times during the year that are just phenomenal for the weight loss business. And I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out what it is. There's New Year's resolution. There's getting ready for for the summer. There's getting ready for the holidays. So your mother-in-law could see you all nice and skinny, that kind of thing. On and on and on. So she deals with the medicine, and I deal with the business.
And Dr. Rebecca, you just published a book recently, didn't you? Is it Pop, Burst the Diet Bubble, and Finally Lose Weight? Maybe you could talk a little bit about that, what that experience was like for you, writing the book and what it's about.
Sure. The book is a virtual visit to our office, and I tried to create a scenario where someone that couldn't come to the center would be able to read this and feel motivated. And I was lucky enough to be able to write it with my dad, who is a clinical psychologist, and he wrote a portion about emotional eating and designed to help someone that keeps stepping in the same hole kind of move away from that hole. And the book is available on our website, and it's also on Amazon.
Oh, great.
And it was exciting to think about not only helping locally, but helping nationally. And we have to face the facts that diets don't work, and that's why it's called Burst the Diet Bubble, because whatever America's doing with weight is not working. And we have to think of it as a lifestyle change and start thinking about it differently, and that was really the purpose behind the book.
That's fantastic. So what are some tips you have for, and now that we're heading into spring and, of course, summer, what tips do you have as far as best foods that we can eat?
spring and summer are usually very motivating. I would say almost more motivating than New Year's because you know that at least in our area, you have to wear smaller clothes.
Sure.
But my favorite things to talk about are fruits and vegetables, nuts and beans, because when you start focusing on food for your health or food for immunity for your system, then you're eating things that are giving you antioxidants or anti-cancer. You're giving your body things that are immunity. And when you have, largely they lie in fruits and vegetables, nuts and beans. So if you can really, unless you're at a perfect weight and you can incorporate whole grains, then I usually say in the beginning to get to a closer to a goal weight, we would do mostly fruits and vegetables, nuts and beans. And I like combining a protein plus a fruit or a vegetable every meal and every snack. And then figuring out at least a half an hour a day that you can put into your life for your time for exercise. And I also like to start with cardio because I think that yoga and Pilates and strength training are wonderful, but when you're trying to lose weight, you want to burn calories. And that cardio habit is always my first thing because I would say 95% of people that walk through our doors are doing a big fat zero for exercise. And if you ask them when they were happy with their weight, they say, oh, yes, I was exercising. And then something happens and they get out of it. The gym closes, they have an injury, they have a new job, they have a new baby, something happens. And we try so hard to help people to get back to exercise as a regular, most days habit. And I think that's really the key. So for spring, if you can cut your bread, your pasta, your rice a little bit, add more fruits and vegetables, nuts and beans, and the exercise, you'll be in good shape.
I'm going to throw in a little pearl.
Okay, go ahead.
Something I didn't know. I love nothing more than going to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and getting the 48-ounce porterhouse.
Yes.
Which is like there's nothing better in the entire world than that.
Absolutely.
But what I've no, you can laugh at me, Beck, but what I've learned is that your protein should be the size of a pack of playing cards. That's about 5-6 ounces.
Interesting.
And I'm not saying I always follow that.
Right.
But,
right.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Wow, I've never heard that either, Dr. Joe. Yeah, that's interesting.
We're so supersized in this country. We're ridiculous.
Yes.
Where you can go somewhere and order a 24-ounce steak is silly.
And have it. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet after this. The other little tidbit that I learned is your body doesn't recognize that you're satiated for 20 minutes. So what we teach in the program, amongst a lot of other things, is eat what you want to eat, and then wait 20 minutes. If you're still hungry, eat some more. Chances are you're not going to be. And this is what I follow. Mm-hmm. And it sounds so simple, but I have to tell you, it really works for me, Marty.
That's interesting. And I know water is very big too, isn't it?
We all eat too fast.
Oh, water's key. Water's key. What is it? Half your body? What do you teach people?
Yeah.
Half your body weight in ounces a day?
Yeah. You want at least 8 ounces minimum.
And the interesting thing is with the education that we have in POP, there are 40, 50 little tidbits like this that we teach clients. And you add them all together, and they really start to make a difference.
Yeah, it's all the
all the
little things that add up. And as educated as we are in this country, our nutrition education is horrendous. And there are so many little things that you can learn that are helpful, like mushrooms decrease the incidence of breast cancer. Strawberries are used to treat throat cancer. There's so many little things that add up together that make you make better choices once you're educated about them.
That's fantastic. I enjoy talking to both you, Dr. Rebecca and Dr. Joseph. What's the best way for our listeners to get more information on becoming a franchisee? Are there any websites they should go to? Any phone numbers they should call? www.popweightloss.com. Simple enough. And I would like to already invite you back next year as you continue to grow, especially if I'm ever in your area, I'm going to look you up and shake both your hands.
That's great, Marty. We welcome it.
Thank
you, Dr. Rebecca. Thank you, Dr. Joseph. It was great to have you on the show. We'll be right back with more franchise interviews.
Franchisers, are you looking to reach aspiring entrepreneurs looking to buy a franchise? Are you looking to reach a highly educated audience on franchising? For over 6 years, Franchise Interviews has been giving an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship through our website, franchiseinterviews.com, where you can hear and read interviews as well as get tips from some of the most successful sources in franchising. Our weekly franchise radio show where each week you get to hear a new interview with franchisers, franchisees, franchise authors, franchise experts, and attorneys, and our podcast, Great Quotes in Franchising. For more information, go to franchiseinterviews.com or call us at 610-905-2919. That's 610-905-2919.
Need a business loan? Talk to Diamond Financial Services, the experts in franchise financing nationwide. Whether you're looking to start a franchise, acquire an existing franchise, or expand your territory through opening new locations, Diamond Financial stands by your side start to finish. From pre-qualification to packaging and presenting your application to securing a financial commitment and through the loan closing process, Diamond Financial is there. While you're waiting, thousands of others are making their financial dreams come true. Don't wait any longer. Pre-qualify now by completing a confidential, no-obligation financial analysis. Let's face it, traditional banks just aren't in the business of financing small business. At Diamond Financial, we specialize in securing franchise loans from $100,000 to $3 million and equipment leasing up to $150,000. Let us help you get started. Go to www.franchisefunding.net or call 877-508-2274. That's franchisefunding.net, 877-508-2274.
Hi everyone, this is Marty McDermott from Franchise Interviews, and welcome to another edition of Great Quotes in Franchising, where each podcast you get to hear a great quote in franchising. You know, Don and I have been hosting Franchise Interviews now over 2 years with over 111 shows under our belt, and during that time frame we've had some incredible quotes on our show. Today you're going to get to hear from Steve Biegelman, who's a franchise expert and veteran, and Steve answers the question, should I go with a small franchise system or a large franchise system? And I thought Steve's response was quite brilliant. So first we'll hear a quick word from our sponsor, and then Steve Biegelman with, should I go with a small franchise system or a large franchise system? Take care, everyone.
Are you one of those special people who are willing to go after your dreams and goals? Are you ready to fulfill that dream of owning your own business with the security of a proven brand? The opportunity to take control of your future and own a Rita's Italian Ice franchise is within your reach.
Rita's is seeking success-oriented individuals who are ready to make a change in their life, and Rita's offers unparalleled training and support to assure your success. And did you know the frozen treat industry is a recession-proof industry, and there are Rita's in 23 states currently with 540 stores open. Rita's Italian Ice has been around for 25 years and is listed as a top-performing franchise by the Wall Street Journal.
Now here's the really good part. Rita's Italian Ice is a unique and amazing taste treat. It's smoother than a snow cone, and it combines ice with real fresh fruit. The real fruit adds dramatically to the taste, and it comes in over 40 flavors. The ice and fruit are mixed on site and made fresh daily, and it is delicious.
You'll want to know more about this exciting and successful franchise opportunity. Go to www.ownaritas.com and get all your questions answered. That's www.ownaritas.com to take control of your dreams and future today. You don't want to wait any longer to be a part of this adventure. www.ownaritas.com.
Yeah, very important. So, you've been with small startup franchise companies. You've been at the larger companies. What are some of the big differences between those two type of scenarios, Steve?
Well, Don, smaller companies obviously give a lot of attention to the franchisee. So, every franchisee, that franchisee by name. You can get a hold of, the owners of the company or the CEO of the franchise system pretty much you build very, very strong relationships when you're joining a smaller system. When you're joining a smaller system, you also typically get your choice of prime territory, maybe in your backyard where you want to be and open a business. You don't want to have to drive an hour to your store every day or your location. Right. So you get the prime territory, you get to know the management team, the owners of the company and the concept, and really build that strong relationship. The challenge is the brands aren't as well known, so it takes time. And, obviously you need to make a decision when you're a franchise candidate or a potential franchisee looking at concepts. Do you want to join a company that's in the infancy and the growth stage, or do you want to join a more established, national brand that has presence but's going to have limited locations available? You might have to go a much farther distance to get that location, and they have, proven systems in place. So you're going to have to follow that system to a T, and you're going to deal typically with a regional operations manager and training managers in that region. You're not going to get to know the top level of management in a large company, whether it's a Dunkin' Donuts or a Dairy Queen or Yum Brands. You're just not going to have that kind of interaction with the top management team. They're just too large of an organization. Again, great companies, but it all depends what you're looking for as a franchise, candidate or potential franchisee.
It's a real interesting question, though, huh? That's where a franchise consultant come in, speaking to an expert like yourself, to really educate someone for that type of decision.
Sure. It is a big decision, and you need to really know yourself to know what you're looking for. If you want an absolute 100% proven concept that's been around, tried and true, then you're going to want to join one of the big chains that have been around for 20+ years, that have thousands of units. But if you're more an entrepreneur and you kind of want to feel things out and be a part of the growth strategy of an organization and impact some of the marketing decisions and decisions from an operations standpoint for an organization, then you're going to look towards a smaller company that you can have impact, that you could be on the Franchise Advisory Council, that you could really be involved with decisions that the company makes for growing the brand forward.
If you have more territory, be in on the early part of the curve for that franchise that maybe has had some success so far, but they're really early in their process. So, yeah, real interesting.
Yep. In 2000. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next week with another edition of Franchise Interviews. Take care, everyone.